quote, Cowboys players initially bought into keeping things internal. Now as they sit 2-4, the discontent is leaking out. On the coaching staff, quote, totally unprepared. They don't teach. They don't have any sense of adjusting on the fly. That's what one player told Jane Slater. Another said, quote, they just aren't good at their jobs.
Man, I really don't care, to be honest with you, when it's said. Whether it's in a public setting, privately, obviously coaches, they don't like when players say negative things about their style of coaching and the way things are being done. But when you start to see players saying those things, now I would like for the players to put their names on it because that's just who I am. Mm-hmm. If I don't need to go behind the coaches or players' backs and whisper things, if they are doing their job, put your name to it, it's fine. With that being said, when there is smoke, there's fire. Mm-hmm. There's something there. What that something is, we don't obviously know because we're not in the building. Only thing we can see is the results that were put on the field against the Arizona Cardinals, which they quite frankly stink. And they were not good. They look horrible. When you look at Mike McCarthy's first hire, when he was first hired, and you look at Mike Nolan, Mike McCarthy hired him, you thought, okay, 2 former head coaches, one a Super Bowl winner, had some success as a DC in this league, kind of know his stuff. You thought it would be much better than it's turned out. Mm-hmm. They're not buying into what they're selling. They're not buying into it. And if they're not buying into it and you're looking at it from an ownership standpoint, how long do you ride this out? It's very easy to fire the defensive coordinator tomorrow. It's very easy to fire him at the end of the season. But do you want to hit the reset button as a whole? You got Dak Prescott who's coming back, so he's coming back off injury, so that's a good thing when he's back next season. That'll be good for you. Hit the reset button on Mike McCarthy at the end of the year. If it doesn't go according to what that plan is, or are you willing to sacrifice that young talent over the next couple years and kind of getting the same sort of production that you got this year? And if I'm a billionaire times over, like a Jerry Jones, and I have Mike McCarthy there, and I'm not winning the division, and I put money and drafted CeeDee Lamb and put money into other players, and I know the offensive line has been decimated. I understand. I get that. But you still should be competitive. There's teams like the San Francisco 49ers. Shanahan figured out how to put that together to beat the Rams and win some games. And there's other teams that have injuries as well that figure out how to get things done. If we can't figure it out, hit the reset button. And if it costs me whatever, $25 million to get you out of here, fine. Now I'm going to go find that coach, and I'm going to write the biggest check, whoever that coach is. I'm going to go take somebody else's coach if I'm Jerry Jones, and I'm going to bring that dude here. I'm going to bring Eric Bieniemy. I'm going to bring Jim Harbaugh because I need stuff. I like Harbaugh as a pro coach. I like it. Now, he may get a little crazy in year 4 or 5, but I'm willing to pay $100+ million in that 4-year window to get whatever the numbers turn out to be.
Dude ain't beat Ohio State yet. You want to bring him here to try and win in the NFL?
He's a pro coach.
I get it. He'll burn you out.
He deserves to be in the pros because his style works. And I like him to restore order. And young quarterback, you've seen what he's done with young quarterbacks in the pros.
Okay. If Harbaugh, if you did go that route, I tell you what, half of those players won't be on that team. When are we gonna start putting ownership? Listen, listen. I'm not the biggest Mike Nolan fan, right? He knows why. But Mike Nolan's with me.
He did coach.
He's with me in Baltimore. He was the reason that the Baltimore Ravens went to a 3-4 from a 4-3. So I know he got the secret sauce. Now, at some point, we got to put it on the players. These players are soft. And I tell you what, I've never lost. It was a couple of teams that we've always
dominated. Let me ask you this, though. Let me. The players are soft, in your opinion, right?
Man, they are soft, horrible.
But is that not indicative of the coach's personality and how they could get like I've been around hard-nosed coaches.
Yeah. It ain't about being Mike Nolan, a hard-nosed coach. It ain't about that.
So that's personality, though, right?
No, it's about what they decided to do and how they decided to build this football team. They decided to build it on the offensive side of the ball, try and put up a lot of points, change their identity to more about Dak and not more about Ezekiel Elliott. Understand the offensive line, is decimated, and they're not the unit that they used to be. So it's harder to really have the offense go through Dak. Go through Elliott. But the problem is, listen, whenever I ever played a Dallas Cowboys team, it was always the softest team I've ever played. Right, mentally, physically, I'm telling you. Listen.
Man,
remember,
I was on that team. What you mean?
You know they were soft. We got the dub that day too.
I wasn't soft. So
yeah, you weren't soft. But what I'm saying is the philosophy, and as an organization, their brand is soft. They want to act like they're a tough team, and they want to act like they're contenders. They're front runners. They've always been a front-running organization. Whenever we played them, we knew it was going to be barbecue chicken because that's the way they roll. Everything is so nice and plush for them. You know, they got the best facilities. They got the best stadium. They got the best of everything, and it makes them soft. And they've always been underachievers. Whenever we talked about a Dallas team ever, you know, since the 90s,
I feel like
these players are whack.
Personality though,
nah, man,
is the head coach. That's just me.
Listen, I've been with Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan, like I said, we got our issues, but he knows what he's talking about. Unprepared. That's never any description that you say about Mike Nolan. I see some of the dumbest football players I've ever seen in football, and their lack of communication, their lack of football acumen. They don't know how. Listen, maybe it's too complicated for them because there's a lot of dumb football players in the league right now. They don't understand what that means when we have two receivers in close proximity to each other. That means that we're going to talk about less limbo. You see guys that's farming their own land. They're selfish. They're saying, no, I'm going to get my guy. I don't care if it's hard for you because the guys in the cut split.
We got a rap here, man, on this show. When they
I'm
say
just
rap,
telling you, bro,
stop talking.
I'm just telling you, man, because they be you know, wacky D right there, man.
But
you
we'll
can't just put on the players.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.